Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. This is your brother Chief Flying Eagle, Ra Elohim, the Black Identity Slayer. And I know it's early, but I had to respond, literally respond to this comment, right? And at Tony O'Neill on YouTube, 5269, 9 minutes ago. And I made a video in regards to foundational Black Americans, FBA, are not Americans. They are Africans born in America. And I knew that was going to be a little bit touchy. And I'm cool. I'm open to talking to anybody about it respectfully. So, Tony, I know you've been following me for a while on YouTube, so I'm not coming at you in any disrespectful way, my brother. You know, and I call you my brother. I know you said that I'm not one of you, and it's okay. It's all right. You feel me? Because like I said, I know cognitive dissonance is real. You dig? So I'm not coming at you. However, I'm going to respond to your comment in a polite way, showing you what's in law, not your emotions, not your feelings. And that's the problem with a lot of you FBAs. You're caught up in feelings and emotions, but it doesn't change the law. You feel me? So let me read your comment, what you said. You said FBA is not a group. It's literally what the name says. We are the Black people who were here during the formation of the USA. Okay? Well, when you say the formation of the USA, pretty much you were not the only one here during the formation of the USA. And when you say USA, you are talking about the 13 colonies, right? So with that being said, many ethnicities were already here. Many ethnicities. When Mississippi was made a state, my family was already here. My family been in the U.S. forever. Okay, so if you say your family have been in the U.S. forever, that means there was a time when you never came. You're talking about time immemorial. That's what you're talking about, because that's what forever means, without an end, without a beginning. So that means your family was already in the Americas, literally from time immemorial, the beginning. But let's read some more, and I'm going to show you where you're confusing even your own self, and you're contradicting yourself because it doesn't make sense. All right? Pay attention. Again, the term foundational Black American is referring to Black people who were here prior and when America was founded, first. Secondly, the United States is not America. America is a continent. America was never founded. America has always been here. In fact, America is the oldest continent on Earth. Okay? And don't tell me I know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Okay? The universe is very specific. And that's why I tell people, don't come at me and tell me Black and tell me you know what I mean. I don't know what you mean. I see it for what it is. Furthermore, you said the reason there is no leader is that it's a descriptive term to identify people who were here since the start. But that's not what your website says. That's not what the FBA website said. And I showed it on the website. It says that foundational Black Americans came in the 1600s and even further back in 1524, but they came from Africa as descendants of slaves from Africa. You feel me? So that contradicts what you just said, that your people have been in Mississippi or the Americas forever. You're confusing yourself. Once again, get out of your emotions. Let us look at things logically, not from an emotional standpoint. You also said Black absolutely does not mean you are from Africa. Well, I'm going to prove to you that you are wrong. Once again, get out of your feelings. Get out of your emotions. I'm showing you law. I'm showing you the legal system. Although it's not lawful to me, but they call it law. The only people that could create laws on their original land are the original people. Don't matter where you go. Colonizers, occupiers, they cannot create laws. They're disguised as laws, but they're not laws. They are just codes, statutes, and ordinances. So let's read this again. You said black absolutely does not mean you are from Africa, but I'm going to prove you wrong. Okay? Black means you are dead in law. Okay, so you at least you agree with me. So my thing is this: if you know it means to be unalive in law, why would you still want to call yourself that? Why would you acquiesce to being unalive in law when you see what's happening to our people? Well, you said I'm not one of you. So what happens to your people? Let's just say I agree with you and I'm not one of you. You see what black is doing to your people, and I'm here teaching the truth so that you could help save your people, but you still want to hold on to the term black. What does that say about you? What does that say about you? Let us proceed. It takes a point, it makes a point to let you know that black does not have to do with skin color. Well, I already know that. I've been teaching that for 25 years. But African American is a bigger misnomer. There is no such bigger misnomer than being black. Because one could make an argument for being called an African American. Someone who's from Africa and they're born in America, from a perspective of continents, they are actually African American from a general perspective. And that's who you are. Because your website, FBA, said that you came from Africa. You came from Africa. Your people came from Africa as slaves. And now you're actually in the Americas. So therefore, you are African American. That fits you even better. If I were you, I would choose that more than black. But either way, they're still dangerous. But black is the most dangerous one of all. Okay? Now, I'm just breaking down everything that you wrote. Let's proceed. It's important for you to understand that the reason we call ourselves foundational Black Americans is that though we have different ideas on where we are from, we are still the same people with the same history and culture. And that's cool with me. You are descendants of slaves from Africa. So yes, you are the same people and you share the same culture. I totally get it. You're also the same people with your African ancestors. So why are you guys fighting and debating your African cousins and brothers and sisters? And you guys are the same people because you came from the same mothers and fathers. Let's proceed. You said, though I believe with you that we are the original Americans. No. You cannot be an original American calling yourself black. What I said was, the majority of the people who call themselves FBAs, they are truly, indeed, indigenous original Americans. They are. If they take away being called black. You feel me? Because you constantly call yourself black. Even if you are by nature, by blood, you're an American Indian, politically, you are not that. You see the difference? And that's the distinction that I make. So you agree with me. So why are you calling yourself Black Foundational American if you agree with me? Because you what? You want to isolate yourself? And even you yourself said black means unalive in law. But you'd rather hold on to that black so you could separate yourself from other indigenous people of the Americas. Because you know what's in your mind? The United States is America. No other country in the Americas matter. Even if the people look like me, it don't matter. As long as you claim America as the United States or the United States as America, every other country in the Americas don't count because you want to be black. Okay? You want to keep the culture to yourself because it's yours. It does not belong to anybody else in the Americas. Let us read. You said that you understand why I don't like the term. It's because it does not include you because you are not from the U.S. You are absolutely correct. I am not a construct of the United States. I am not a product of the United States. I am not in ligus. I am not a creature of the United States. I am not that. Okay? And I do not wish to be that. I know how to play their game. You feel me? So you said it's because it does not include you because you are not from the US. And I'm totally fine with that. You don't have our history and you are not a part of our culture. So you hate on it because you are not a part of it. Well, this is where you are wrong. Because the history that's in the United States is actually part of my history and culture. Because I'm American. I'm American. And if your ancestors came from Africa, like your website stated, then let me explain something to you. I have more of a blood relation and connection to people in the United States than you because your people came from Africa. I have cousins in California. I have cousins in Atlanta. I have cousins in the Carolinas that I have never met, never been to the islands, but we are related. I'm talking about second cousins and third cousins. How is that? Because 5.5 million American Indians were taken into the Caribbean. And I promise you, it is not the native people that call themselves Native Americans today. They are people that look just like you and I. So I have no idea what you're talking about. Like I tell people, your emotions and your feelings is not going to change the fact that I'm speaking the truth. All right? So I hear what you're saying, but what you're saying doesn't make any sense at all because I'm not part of the history. What are you talking about? And you're absolutely correct when you said I'm not one of you because I'm not black. That's the only thing that separates me. But I'll tell you this. Any one of my people that's American Indians in the United States, I will go to war for them any day. That's the difference between me and you. You feel me? Because I don't separate myself from my people. All I want them to do is give up the whole concept and idea of calling themselves black because it is a detriment. It is a curse. And you would rather hold on to the curse so you could isolate yourself from other people that's in different parts of the Americas. You would rather accept the curse. That's how disillusional FBA people are. You have to understand. I know I'm not understanding anything that's black. So I'm not going to say I know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Say what you mean and mean what you say. All right? You should have said, but you have to comprehend. That's different from understanding. All right? And I'm not being funny. I'm just keeping it real. That's how my mind works. All right? You said that, but you have to understand, which I don't, that our ethnic group will not be told we have no culture and have no people who look like us elevate themselves over us when we fought to get y'all allowed into the country that we have been in forever. Well, once again, you cannot use the term forever. You have not been here forever, and you did not get my people into this country. The United States is not a country, it's a corporation. It's a private organization that's telling people they're illegal in their own land. You see the problem with your FBA mind? You are disillusional. You are crazy people. You are insane. And you are literally actually working with the colonizers. That's what you're doing. You are nothing but a colonizer because you came. You are a settler because you came. How can you say forever when your site, the man who created the whole concept or the idea of FBA, says that you came from Africa. Let it make sense. So, Tony, I appreciate your sentiments. Thank you for the subscription. But you say I'm not you, but I'm still going to call you my brother. My brother, let it go. You're not going to win this on any huge platform where we're going to argue this. You're not going to win. You did. Emotions is not going to change facts. Facts will always out-trump emotions. Get it? Out-trump emotions. Now, that might go over some heads. Okay? Now, with that being said, let me dive a little bit deeper, because for whatever reason, I know y'all are going to hold on to your FBAs, and that's fine. Hold on to it. I don't want to be a foundational Black American. I don't want to be Black. There's no such thing as a Black American. All right? Let me go to the next. Let's go into the legal system, because your emotions, all your FBA emotions, and I even know some American Indians that's in the US that feel that way. You did. Because they still have that FBA mindset. But let us go into the United States, okay? Not America, but the United States Appendix E on racial codes and ethnicity. You see what it says? Black or African American. The black checkbox, Black, African, African American, Afro-American, Negration, Negro, Bahamian, Barbadian. All these people are Black or African American. Okay? Check that. Haitian, Jamaican, Nigerian, Trinidad and Tobago, the entire West Indies, based on the United States codes, they are all Black and African American. So like I said before, your emotions don't matter to me, because the United States see you all as the same. Even if I was born in the West Indies, that don't include me, because I've corrected my status and told these immigrants, the real immigrants and the real foreigners and the real colonizers and the real occupiers, I've let them know that I am not Black or African American. I am an American Indian. See the difference between me and you? I don't want to be a color in a crayon box, just so I could claim to something to isolate the rest of my brothers and sisters in the Americas. You want to claim to be an American, but you want to hold on to Black so you could differentiate yourself from your brothers and sisters from the Caribbean or different parts of the America if you truly claim to be an American. Based on what you said, you are not, because you came from Africa. It doesn't matter how long. That is the United States codes. That is the corporation codes that you claim to be a part of, that you made the statement that I'm not a part of. You're absolutely correct. I'm American Indian without the United States. I'm American Indian non-domestic. You see the difference between me and you? I know this. And the difference between me and you and a lot of people, I know this. I've been doing this for 25 years with this law and legal ish. All right. And I'm, like I said, I'm not coming at you, brother. I want you to see I want you to see the truth, the facts. Stop living your life based on emotions. You're hurting you and the people you call your people. That's not love. You would rather lie to them to hold on to something that's false. I would rather give them the truth and hurt them that way with the truth. You want to hurt them with a lie. So who love your people more? It seems to me I love your people more than you love your own people. But yet still you say they're not my people. Okay. But I'm the one giving them the hurtful truth. You're giving them a hurtful lie. I would rather you hurt me with the truth than hurt me with a lie, brother. Next, let's see what we have. So you see, I'm even going into the legal system and showing you and proving to you that what you are saying doesn't make any sense. It doesn't, because you're dealing with emotions, right? What else do we have? Hold on for a second. All right. Now check this out. I'm going to prove that to you, because y'all keep talking about you've been here in the United States for forever. No, you haven't. You came in based on your site. You made the statement that you came before 1619, You came in the 1500s, 1524 to be exact, I think. Okay, fine. If I give you that, the bottom line is just like the Native Americans, you came. So you cannot be an original American. You cannot be an American Indian. You feel me? Now, pay attention. Check this out. I'm going to show you why it's genetically impossible to change. Okay? When someone born in Africa 1,000 years ago moves to another country, their individual bloodline and genetic makeup wouldn't fundamentally change during their lifetime based solely on geographic location. It is scientifically impossible. You people are disillusional. Now, let's read some more. Here's why. Genetic basis blood type is determined by inherited genes, which are generally stable throughout a person's life. Your blood don't change. Okay? Adaptation over generations. While the environment doesn't directly alter an individual's blood type, over many generations, populations can adapt to different environments through a process of natural selection and genetic mutations. Okay? So if anyone that's a foundational Black American who actually came, and you came from Africa because that's where you guys came from, and you're in the Americas and calling yourself an American, you are a mutation. Stop playing with me, son. Let us read some more. Examples of population level changes. These adaptations can include like changes in skin pigmentation, okay, for better protection against UV radiations, etc., 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 right? Adaptations to increase red blood cells. High altitudes better cope with lower oxygen levels. It still doesn't change your blood type. Okay? It may change your skin a little bit. Epigenetics. It's important to note that while the DNA sequence itself remains largely consistent or constant, environmental factors and lifestyle can influence how genes are expressed through a process called epigenetics. All right? Children experiences can permanently change DNA through epigenetics. These changes can affect an individual's health and sustainability to certain illnesses. So therefore, based on a term called epigenetics, right? Experiences can permanently change DNA through epigenetics, not your blood, but your DNA. And once that happens, this is what happens. You are more susceptible to illnesses, but it does not fundamentally, all right, change inherited genetic code passed down through generations. You feel me? Blood type and ethnicity. Certain blood types are more common within specific racial ethnic groups, etc., etc., etc. But anyway, you get the gist of what I'm talking about. You cannot change your genes or your blood type. Your DNA might be altered and make you a mutation. And I think mental illness is one of them. All right? I'm just saying, man. I keep telling y'all messing with the wrong one. I am here literally trying to help you. I'm here literally not trying. I'm here helping. I'm here giving solutions. Correct your status and get away from the FBA if you truly not just think, but you know you are an American. Which is, there's only one American, the American Indian. There's only one. Okay? Now, what are we going to do now? I'm going to go into, give me 1 second. All right, hold on for a second. Census updated race ethnicity. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, let me see if I can find this. Here we go. You said, all right. So you said black does not mean it's from Africa, right? Okay, I'm going to prove you wrong again. I've always been showing the facts, and I'm going to show the facts again. Okay? Because like I said, emotions don't mean anything. I'm going to go into the census record. You see, that's their codes. That's their legal framework. That's their legal system. That's their legal foundation. They said it, not me. All right, hold on for a second. All right, give me 1 second. I got to make sure this pulls up. Where is it at? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I know it's somewhere. Okay, give me 1 second, please. Let me pull that up for y'all, because I want everybody to get this. This is not personal. All right, get out of your emotions and feelings, man. Stop. You're being, you're individualizing this information right here. Okay, don't do that, because you're hurting yourself. You're not hurting me. I'm here to help my people. But if you say I'm not your people, it's okay. I'm totally fine with that. If you say I'm not your people, man, I'm cool with that. All right, but I'll continue to exclude myself out of the U.S. All right, here we go. You said that black don't mean you're from Africa. All right, let's go into the census and see what it says. Black or African American? Black or African American? What does it say? Individuals with origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa. All right, including, for example, they give African American, which is actually you, Jamaican, Haitian, Nigerian, Ethiopian, and Samoan. So you and the Haitians, in the eyes and codes of the United States that you say you belong to, they told you that you are African. They told you and the Haitians and the Jamaicans are the same people. You are Africans. Okay? You are an African. Get your emotions out of it. You are an African. And not even tied to an original people. Not tied to an original landmass. Just a racial group somewhere in Africa. Just pick a group. And that's who you are. Do you still want to hold on to black, even if you agreed and said, hey, brother? Well, not brother, because you said I'm not one of you. But you said, hey, I know it means unalive in law, but to it. Because we want to make sure we isolate ourselves from everybody else, even the American Indians that's in the Americas, and tell them that we are them, but we still want to be black. So you're doing the same thing the Native Americans did to my people. You're doing the same thing that the Caucasian people did to my people. And I'm going to prove it to you. All right, boom. So now that you see within the legal system, all black persons are from Africa. End of conversation. End of conversation. Let's go look at who's an Indian. Here we go. Who's an Indian? An Aboriginal inhabitant of North America. There's even a court case, Frazee versus Spokane, right? In law, I stand in law and on law. I'm an American Indian, and I'm an American Indian without the United States, non-domestic. You see, all my paperwork states that very, very clearly. See the difference between me and you? I'm not isolating myself and separating myself from my brothers and sisters. Even if they want to do that to me, like I said before, it's okay. Why do you think it's quite amazing, right? That American Indian ancestors, you feel me? From literally, I look at the Americas as one, right? So our American Indian ancestors always come to me and give me clarification and give me information to bring to my people. But yet still a lot of my people still try to isolate themselves and make me separate. But yet still I'm the one that's getting the information to bring it to the people. Let that make sense. They come to me literally in person, have conversations with me in person, face to face. You see, like when it says in the Bible that Jacob and Abraham and Moses, they saw God face to face. I have seen my ancestors face to face. Many of them I haven't even met. That's the connection that I have to my American Indian ancestors. But go ahead, keep trying to. You feel me? Because I'm not here to work on one individual's behalf. I'm here to work on the collective behalf. All right. So now you see who an American Indian is. All right. An Aboriginal of the Americas. Let us go into Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary. Who's an American? Because you keep saying you're an American. I'm going to prove to you that you're not. And I'm showing it to you from every angle. Okay, your own FBA website. I showed it to you in the census. I show it to you in the Appendix E Code of Race and Ethics. I've showed it to you in literally in law and legal. The Constitution, the Northwest Ordinance, it does not mention black people or black persons. It mentions American Indians. Okay, now let us go into Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary. Let's see the description of an American. It says, originally applied to the Aboriginals. I just showed you that American Indian are the Aboriginals, or the what? The copper-colored races. Copper. It never said black. Copper-colored races. So if you were to go based on complexion, you would be copper-colored. Why are you still calling yourself black? But now the term is being applied to whom? Europeans or descendants of Europeans born in America. In other words, these colonizers, these foreign occupiers, they took my identity, the place of my people. And I'm here fighting on behalf of my people. But you're fighting me to be a color in a crayon box because you want to isolate me because I have an accent that don't sound like yours. Because I wasn't born in the U.S. Shouldn't you be happy and excited that at least one of your brothers know the truth and he's not a construct of the corporation and he's here fighting to help his people? It's amazing how your mind works. You would rather make me an enemy. And I'm not saying that you are. Okay, brother, I'm not saying that you are. But I'm just saying from a general consensus, a lot of people are making me the enemy because they say I have a West Indian accent. That's crazy though. But yet still, in the Americas, in the West Indies, we were the first ones to be called American before anybody else. But for some reason, you want to take that away from us by calling yourself Black American. But there's no such thing as a Black American. Ain't that a blimp? Anyway, man, all I'm just saying is, man, listen, get out of the emotions, man. Get out of the emotions. I am here to assist my people. I was sent for this reason. I was sent for this. I've been saying this since what? 2013, 2015. I've always been saying this. Always been saying it. So this is nothing new. I've always been consistent with my message. Because in 2011, ancestors came to me literally in person. Okay? Touched my shoulders, looked up and saw my ancestors' faces and showed me what happened to my people in the Americas in 1492. How many people you could say have that experience? So obviously they have a special relationship with me that none of you could tarnish, take away. None of you could diminish that. No matter what you do. Like I said before, you have the chosen and you have the chosen. I am the chosen. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but I know I am. Because they have told me so. So if y'all want to continue to isolate yourself and because you want to separate everybody else, because you think that it's your culture, where did that culture come from? There's nothing new under the sun. So where did that culture come from? Where did music come from? Music came from spirituality. You're going to claim spirituality as well? Y'all people are very sick mentally, disillusioned, and that's the problem. You feel me? I wanted to literally break down everything that you said and show you how you're contradicting yourself and you're lying to yourself because you want to isolate yourself from everybody else. In your mind, just like the rest of the FBAs, you think you're going to get a big payoff. And I hope you do. I hope you do because you deserve it. I'm not here fighting against you so that you don't get your reparations that you say you deserve. I hope you get it. But always remember this. You have to prove that you have an unbroken lineage from African slaves that came from Africa. Saying it doesn't get you a paycheck. You got to prove your ancestry. And here's the problem and the dilemma that a lot of you are going to run into. You can't, because you're actually American Indians. But you're afraid to use American Indian because you have fought against us for so long. It's okay. Come back home. Let go of the pride. Come back home. We are stronger together. You feel me? So I'm not against my brothers and sisters in the United States. No. As a matter of fact, I'm here to help you. I am here to walk you through the Red Sea and get you away from Pharaoh, get you away from Egypt, which means bondage. And Pharaoh is the king of bondage. But like I said, man, that's going to go over some heads. Peace. Man, listen, my email is always in the link below. Correct your status, my people. Get away from the emotions. Get out of Babylon. All right?